Okay, we're now going to look at question 3. Question 3 focuses on 3 areas of study, which are harmony and tonality, texture and melody, and structure and form. It's worth in total 5 marks. You're going to hear an extract of music which would be played 4 times. Question 3a is asking you to name the melodic interval played by the trumpets at the end of the first vocal phrase. An interval is the distance between 2 notes. The way to work out an interval is to hold in your inner ear the 2 notes which are played. Then, from the lowest note which is played, count up by singing a scale in your mind to the upper note. So say for example going 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And say for example, if you have counted 3, then the interval would be a third. If you count 4, the interval would be a fourth. If you count 5, the interval would be a fifth, and so on. And that can go all the way up to an octave for GCSE. For question 3b, you're being asked how many different chords you hear in this excerpt. You have to be careful here. It's not actually asking you how many different chords you hear, which is sometimes a mistake that candidates make, but it's, for example, how many different chords you hear. So say, for example, if it was a 12-bar blues, you would typically hear 3 different chords, even though you would hear 12 bars worth of music. For example, chord 1, chord 4, and chord 5. Question 3c is asking you which one of these structural definitions best fits the form of the whole vocal section. The best thing to do here is again to listen out to the lyrics and also the melodic structure as well. Question 3d is asking you about the tonality of this excerpt. So, for example, is it major? Is it minor? Is it modal? Is it chromatic? Is it pentatonic? So, let's have a listen to the excerpt.
The only one who could ever reach me was the son of a preacher man. The only boy who could ever teach me was the son of a preacher man. Yes, he was. He was. Yes, he was.
Okay, so it's quite a short excerpt in which you have to be able to answer a number of questions. Okay, first of all, the interval that you hear being played by the trumpets is clearly an octave. Slightly tricky because you don't actually start with the lowest note, you actually start with the upper note of the interval. So you have to really sort of hear the 2 notes and hold them both in your inner ear. So you could write, for example, octave as a word, or you could write 8VE. I prefer to write octave. The total number of chords that were heard in the excerpt were 3 different chords. Okay, let's listen out for the structure.
Here is the excerpt for the second time.
The only one who could ever reach me was the son of a preacher man. The only boy who could ever teach me was the son of a preacher man. Yes, he was. He was. Yes, he was.
Okay. The structure would have been A, B.
Here is the excerpt for the third time.
Okay, let's listen for the tonality. Is it major or minor?
The only one who could ever reach me was the son of a preacher man. The only boy who could ever teach me was the son of a preacher man. Yes, he was. He was. Yes, he was.